It's week 15. I am 3 weeks out from the marathon on Sunday. I'm recovering from a bit of a knock, an injury that I picked up a week or two ago. So come and overreact with me. Come down the wormhole of what ifs and shoulda, woulda, couldas, and less knee jerk. Okay, so let's set the scene. It was Wednesday in week something of my training plan. Nick will tell you what week it was.
Fine.
Basically, the week was a bit of a write-off in general. So on the Wednesday, our cat got sick, which was really stressful, and that was supposed to be my first total rest day in too long, which is one of the first important points about this, was I haven't had enough rest days. Even my once every 4 weeks, when I looked at the diary, that was once, my first in 6 weeks. So first thing was not enough rest. Then life happens, right? So yeah, cat got sick, work got really difficult and really full on, and my well-being took a big dip. Went out for a run Thursday night. Lovely Susie joined me. We were doing 8-minute mile reps. I was going to do 9 miles all together. Me and Susie ran together for maybe the first 6 or 7 miles before we went our separate ways. And it was so good. Like, that was such a lovely run. Really, really, really enjoyed that. But after Susie left and I was on my own, I just felt like someone poking a finger into my calf. It wasn't especially painful, but it was kind of icky. Yucky. And I thought, that didn't feel great. Of course, carried on running, because runners are stupid. Finished my session, and then seriously hobbled through my cool down, knowing that something was wrong on both legs actually by this point. So calf ping had happened on my left leg, and then my right ankle was just sore, which I wasn't too worried about because it just felt like end of a difficult run sore. But the point was, I was like incapacitated on both legs, hobbling through my mile cool down when I should have just stopped. Woke up the next day with quite a significant pain in my calf. You know, I could walk and everything, but it was one of those pains where I just thought something's probably quite wrong. Hobbling around the house a bit Friday morning, and for the first time in this whole plan, I was like, I'm not gonna run today when I'm supposed to, right? Decided to skip a run. Mood really started taking a turn at that point, so feeling really low. Saturday morning, got up, went and did a 2.5 mile sort of test jog really, just near the house so I could stop as soon as I needed to. And I was like, I can feel it the whole way. They say less than 3 or less than 4, right, out of 10 pain. I was like, oh, it's 3 or a 4. I just couldn't decide what to do. I think by this point I'd already booked the earliest appointment I could get to see a physio, which was on the Tuesday. So you're sat there Saturday morning, and that just feels like a million years away, doesn't it, when you're training for a marathon and you've got runs to be doing. I was supposed to run 16 miles tomorrow, and wait till Tuesday, but I had to. So on Sunday, again, I wanted to just do a test, so I thought, I'm gonna see how far I can run without it hurting, without it getting above a 4 or a 3, whatever, that mild, moderate pain that I know you're not supposed to run through. And I managed 8.5 miles. I ran 9 miles, 8.5, pain started building, and I was curious, seeing where it was gonna go, but yeah, cut it at 9. Monday, rested entirely, I think, and saw the physio on Tuesday. Physio's diagnosis, prognosis, whatever, was generally pretty good. That there is a strain, like a grade 1, at the mildest, you can get a strain in my calf, on my ankle, There's like not even a strain, it's sort of, you know, just in that really early stage of being aggravated basically. But ultimately he prescribed that I can carry on running, but my plan's out the window. So that's the big news, I guess, is like at the time of recording this, which is, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow, I've not been on the plan that everyone was so excited to hear about last time. And that's obviously quite a lot to process, because I'd really thrown my like trust and faith into that plan, and you know, in a way it's like, well, if it all goes wrong I can blame the plan, and now I don't have that. You know, I've taken advice and I know myself and stuff how to manage these next few weeks, but essentially the physio prescribed like max 35 miles until I'm, you know, feeling recovered basically, until I'm not feeling that pain anymore. He said, you know, this week and next, so that includes the week I'm currently in now. So within that 35 miles, easy running and some speed work. It's kind of pretty fast flat out running, but with walking recoveries to just be more mindful of your pain level. So that's what I've been doing really. I was building back in with jogging in that first week of injury. So I think I did like 24 miles altogether last week, and this week I should be getting up to around the 35. There's that bit of me that's like, oh, should I just do a bit more, just push it a bit more if I feel good and I feel pain-free, which touch wood I largely do. And I think, to be honest, apart from the aches and pains I think you should expect at this sort of stage in marathon training, there's nothing that bad. So I think I've definitely got and had a case of the paranoia, but I just think it's a good thing. Like, I think years ago I would have been ignoring this, taping it up, taking all the painkillers and just carrying on. I mean, I ran a half marathon once on like naproxen for my back, and my back was in agony. Like 2 days before that marathon, I couldn't get up off that half marathon. I couldn't get up off the floor, and I was taking like prescription strength painkillers, and like it's just, and I know a lot of people listening to this are probably like, yeah, because you know it's a stereotype, isn't it? It's a joke, it's what we do. But I'm just like, I just don't feel about that at the minute. I just feel I really want to run the marathon. I do really want to run it. I want my time to be in reach. I'm probably, if I'm honest, not going to do it if my time is completely off the table, and say I'm just going to go and jog it in, you know, 4:30 or what. Like, I'm just probably not going to do that, and that really isn't in any kind of ego-y sense. It's because the risk of getting injured, and especially if you're already injured, is so high in a marathon anyway, that my current purpose of running the marathon is to see what I can do when I'm fit and healthy as you can ever be, running this much. You know, I'm not raising money for a charity this time, so I'm not going to go and hobble around. Anyway, that's the misery fest. But I think it's important because it has been miserable. I've really struggled. I think one thing I've learned is I'm not as resilient as I thought I was. You know, talking about journaling and doing all that stuff, like, it just all went out the window, and I was really, really unhappy and worried, and it really wasn't good. But it probably would have been worse if I wasn't doing the well-being stuff that I do the rest of the time. So it's not a failure. You're just doing what you can and what you need to do. Your body and mind always does what it has to in order to keep you like going. So, you know, you're allowed to be sad for a bit. On the app, look at all that fitness I banked before this happened. Genuinely never been fitter and stronger in my life, and it happened at 5 weeks out. And I believe even if I'm just able to run easy and let these injuries heal for the next 5 weeks, I'm not going to lose that much if I keep up as much volume as I can and as much intensity as I can without experiencing pain. I should be able to maintain my fitness as well as let the injuries heal, which is what's going to get you to the start line. So I'm not throwing baby out with bathwater or whatever and going, I'm not doing it now because my training's gone awry for 5 weeks. And to be honest, I never really went there in my head. But like I said, I'm not going to put myself in any danger for this, but I am going to try and preserve whatever I can and not risk any more injuries. So that is the current plan. I did some speed work last night with walking recoveries. I'll do some more on Thursday, and then easy running the rest of the time. And yeah, follow my body's lead and still make it to the start line in one piece, preserving all the fitness that I've got. That's the goal.